When a man has gone a long time without love, something inside begins to change. His heart, once open and full of warmth, starts to build walls, protecting him from the hurt he's experienced. It's a defense mechanism, and over time, it can turn his heart into a place that's hard to reach. The longer he's been without love, the harder it becomes for him to trust, to care, or to even believe that love is worth it. These emotional shifts don't just fade away with time. They shape how he views relationships and the people around him. You might see it in the way he reacts to others, or how he distances himself when things get too close. This shift in behavior is something you need to understand, because it can make him unpredictable, distant, or even emotionally unavailable. The heart that's been without love for too long becomes guarded, and it may take more than just words to break through. If you want to learn more about these hidden signs and what they truly mean, stick around. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who could use this knowledge. You might just help them understand a lot more than they expected. Number 1, the cold wall. When a man has been without love for an extended period, his heart can develop a protective barrier. This cold wall is his defense mechanism, built over time to protect himself from further emotional harm. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a slow process that can be the result of past heartbreak, betrayal, or simply a series of disappointments in love. Over time, the cold wall becomes more solid, making it increasingly difficult for him to open up. He may become emotionally distant, guarding his feelings, and refusing to let anyone in. This emotional withdrawal is a way for him to protect himself from being hurt again. The longer he has been without love, the thicker this wall becomes, often leading to a person who seems cold, uninterested, or detached. The impact of this cold wall goes beyond just emotional protection. It affects his behavior, interactions, and relationships. He might avoid deep conversations, steer clear of vulnerable moments, or shut down when things get too close. These reactions are his way of keeping his heart safe, but it can leave him feeling isolated and disconnected. The cold wall is not just a barrier to love, but also a shield that prevents emotional growth. For those who want to connect with him, breaking through this cold wall requires patience, understanding, and time. It's about showing him that not all relationships will result in pain and disappointment. Slowly, with consistent effort, trust can begin to replace the coldness. Number 2, emotional armor. The emotional armor a man builds after a long period without love is often his last line of defense. It's more than just a wall. It's a full suit of protection he wears around his heart. This armor is made up of learned behaviors and coping strategies designed to prevent him from feeling vulnerable or exposed. It's an instinctual response to avoid getting hurt again. This armor can manifest in many ways. He might refuse to express his emotions, preferring to keep everything bottled up. He might also become excessively logical or practical, trying to shut off any emotional responses to situations. Over time, this armor makes it harder for him to connect with others on an emotional level. He could be distant, unable to form meaningful connections, or simply unwilling to try because of the fear of vulnerability. While emotional armor is meant to protect, it also isolates. The more time he spends with this armor in place, the harder it is for him to trust anyone again. He starts to believe that opening up will only lead to pain and disappointment, so he avoids it altogether. If you're looking to reach him, understanding that emotional armor is a form of self-protection is key. You can't break it down all at once, but over time, with consistent care, patience, and a willingness to help him feel safe, the armor can be loosened. It's important to make him feel that he's not alone in this battle, and that emotional vulnerability doesn't always lead to pain. Number 3, heart on lockdown. When a man has been without love for too long, it's common for him to put his heart on lockdown. This lockdown is his attempt to shut off his emotional needs, ignoring them entirely in the hopes that doing so will stop the hurt. This emotional state often comes after years of feeling rejected, betrayed, or let down by love. The longer the heart is locked away, the harder it becomes for him to open it up again. The lockdown can appear in various ways. He might show little interest in romance, avoiding relationships, or even casual flings. He could withdraw from any form of emotional connection, choosing to keep things at a surface level. In conversations, he may seem uninterested in discussing personal topics, or in expressing any deep feelings. This is his way of protecting himself from being hurt. He might also avoid discussing past heartbreaks, because doing so forces him to relive the pain of his emotional wounds. At its core, heart lockdown is about self-preservation. He doesn't want to expose himself to further disappointment, so he locks everything away and convinces himself that he's better off this way. However, while he might believe that emotional distance is his safety net, it can leave him feeling lonely, disconnected, and deeply unsatisfied. It's not the answer to healing, but simply a temporary solution to avoid more pain. To unlock a man's heart, you need to show him that love can be safe. You can't rush him. You have to show him that it's okay to feel again, to trust again. Over time, you can help him realize that he doesn't need to lock his heart away anymore. Number 4, the fear of vulnerability. After experiencing the pain of lost love, many men develop a deep fear of vulnerability. They have been hurt before, and the idea of opening themselves up to another person feels like an invitation to be hurt again. This fear of vulnerability can lead to emotional distance, avoidance, and difficulty in forming deep connections. For some men, the very thought of showing their true feelings or being open about their emotions can trigger anxiety and discomfort. This fear can manifest in many different ways. A man might avoid discussing his feelings, keep his emotions hidden behind a mask of toughness, or refuse to commit to any relationship that feels too intimate. He may also struggle with expressing love, unsure of how to show affection without feeling exposed. The longer he has been without love, the stronger this fear becomes, because it's been reinforced by past experiences. To overcome this fear, trust must be built slowly. Men need to feel safe before they allow themselves to be vulnerable again. This means being patient, understanding, and accepting. It also involves showing that love doesn't always bring pain, but can be a source of comfort, joy, and growth. When a man begins to trust that his vulnerability won't be used against him, he might start to open up. Number 5, silent resentment. Silent resentment is another dangerous byproduct of being without love for too long. When a man goes without love, he can begin to internalize his hurt, which turns into resentment. This resentment is often not openly discussed or acknowledged. Instead, it festers beneath the surface, affecting how he interacts with others, especially in romantic relationships. This silent resentment can take many forms. He might be cynical about love, viewing it as something that always leads to disappointment. He could also become frustrated with the idea of opening up or trying again, feeling like it's a hopeless effort. This internalized anger is often a reflection of how he feels about his past experiences. He feels betrayed by love, and it's hard for him to move past that. Silent resentment can be toxic if not addressed. It builds up over time and can cause emotional distance in a relationship. If a man carries resentment, it can prevent him from experiencing true love, as he's constantly looking for ways to protect himself from further disappointment. To help a man release this resentment, he needs to feel heard and understood. Acknowledging his pain and giving him the space to express his feelings is essential. Over time, through communication and patience, this resentment can begin to fade, and he can start to view love through a healthier, more positive lens. The longer a man goes without love, the more complex his emotions become. The coldness, the fear of vulnerability, the walls he builds, and the silent resentment, it all shapes the way he views relationships. And if you're in a situation where you're trying to connect with someone who has been without love for a long time, it's important to understand these emotional changes. His heart may seem distant, but that doesn't mean he's beyond reach. These signs are not just walls, but signs of past hurt. The longer someone stays in this emotional state, the harder it becomes to break through. But it's not impossible. Patience, understanding, and a willingness to accept him as he is can gradually help him rebuild the trust he's lost in love. It's not about changing who he is, but offering him a chance to heal and trust again. But here's the thing, you can't fix someone by just understanding their pain. You can be a source of support, but ultimately it's up to him to make the choice to open his heart again. So what does that mean for you? Are you willing to help someone through this process? Or are you ready to walk away? The choice is always yours, but knowing what you're up against helps you understand whether it's worth the effort. If you've learned something from today's video, it's time to take action. Don't let this information just sit there. Use it to build a deeper understanding of your relationships. If you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share it with anyone who might be facing a similar situation. Your support helps us bring more content that could help someone else see things in a new light. Remember, love isn't just about timing. It's about healing, patience, and giving yourself the space to let your heart grow again. Even after a long time without love, a man's heart can open once more. The question is, will he take that chance? Will you? Only time will tell.